So today I have for you my review of the April collection from Petit Vour. This was the spring forward collection. Yes, I realize it's June. I am very far behind. And I also have been using the products in my May box, and I know the June box is going to be released just around the corner, so I wanted to get these out as soon as I could, but I was waiting to use one of the products that was in here because I hadn't actually started using it until a couple of days ago. So I wanted to get a full sense of everything that was in the box. But this should be a pretty short video because I don't have too much to say about the stuff that's in here. But I will get right into that. So there were 4 products in this month's box. The first one I'll start with is the Lauren B. Beauty Beverly Hills nail polish, and the color that I got was I'm So LA, which is just a hot pink color. I'm really impressed with this nail color. This is an $18 nail polish. I had never actually heard of Lauren B. Beauty before we had gotten it in this box, but this is a formula that I actually really like. I've only used this once so far, but I put it on my toes and one coat it was opaque. I didn't even do 2 coats. It dried really fast. I didn't have to worry about smudging it or anything like that. This is the first formula that I've ever found that I would consider getting rid of all of the other nail polishes in my collection and just buying this formula because I liked it so much. I hope that all of the other colors perform the same as this color. I guess there's no way to tell until you try them out for sure, because I know that some colors sometimes can perform differently in the same range, but I was really impressed by this nail polish. I really like it. It's a fun summer hot pink color. I think the other color that people got was like a minty green, which looked interesting as well, but I definitely really like this polish. I don't typically wear polish on my nails just because it chips easier and it's just a hassle for me to have to deal with, but I do really like this for my toes. I wore it for about 3 weeks before I had to take it off, but even then I think it took about 2 weeks before it finally started to looking a little raggedy and chipped, so it did last quite a long time. So really impressed with this formula, and I'm definitely going to be looking into purchasing more of their colors. Hopefully I can get them on special because $18 per polish is quite a lot, but I do really like it and I do think it's actually worth the price because of how good the formula is. So the next item in here, or items I guess, were the Box Naturals Luxe Towelettes. So we got 2 sachets in here. One was the rose water scent and one was the lavender scent. I have used both of these. A box of 12 usually goes for $9, so they are a little bit more on the pricey side, and for that reason alone I wouldn't use them as a makeup wipe. But you can use these wherever you want. It's good for hands, faces, and special places, and that's just for starters. You can really use these for anything that you want. Personally, I wouldn't use them for my face just because of how expensive they are. Typically I don't use makeup wipes anyway, but I wouldn't use these specifically as a makeup wipe just because they're so expensive. So I do tend to carry these around in my purse and use them when I feel like I need to use them. I have tried this previously to getting these in the Petit Vour box. They actually did include these in a Bare Bliss box that I was subscribed to. I think it was one of the very first ones that I got. And I also did get a good deal on these a couple of months ago. I got a box of 10 of them for $2 from a place called Abe's Market, where they sometimes offer different products that you can try for $2. So you definitely go check out Abe's Market, and they have like a try it for 2 section. So I would definitely suggest checking it out because I've tried a few different things from there. And that is where I got a box of these for $2. So I would purchase these, but I would use them more sparingly, like, you know, when I need certain refreshing or freshening up or whatever. So I do like to keep 1 or 2 of these in my purse at all times, and I do really like these. They do contain phenoxyethanol, which some people might have a problem with, but they also are made with water, vegetable glycerin, organic cucumber fruit extract, decoglucoside, aloe leaf, an antimicrobial, lavender oil, and then citric acid, and then of course this one has rose water in it. So definitely I do really like these. I would buy these, just I wouldn't use them all the time just because of how expensive they are. So the next thing in here is the Tegrity 5-in-1 Natural Moisturizing Face Sunscreen. This is a Treat, Hydrate, Protect, Prime, and Cover, and this is tinted SPF 30, and I got the color Light. I have sort of mixed feelings about this. I always feel like I want to like these tinted moisturizers or tinted sunscreens because they're so easy to just sort of throw on. They cover your skin and they give you sort of like a light coverage of like a foundation coverage sort of. It's not really foundation, but it just gives you like a light coverage. It evens out your skin tone, that kind of thing. I really want to like products like this, but I think my skin has such a hard time with anything that's not a powder. So I did try this I think 4 or 5 times. I can't remember exactly how many. The first time I tried this, I really, really liked it. I put it on. I also put on a really sheer powder on top. I used the Pacifica Golden Lotus, not the highlighter one, but the actual like light colored powder. I put that on top, and that's all I did that day, and I was having a decent skin day that day, so maybe that's why it worked so well, but I feel like it didn't change my skin color, it didn't break me out, anything like that, so I was really excited after the first day when I didn't have any issues with it. So the next, I think a couple of days later, I tried it again, but then it turned me orange and made me kind of oily, so I was feeling a little bit defeated, but I thought, well, maybe it's just today, maybe I'm just having a bad day. So I tried it again the next day and the same thing happened, and then I tried it again one more time and the same thing happened. So I feel like my skin, maybe it's something with sort of like the pH of it, or it's the oiliness of it or something. It always turns anything liquid that touches my skin, if it has a tint to it, orange. No matter what the shade is, no matter how dark or light it is to begin with, it always turns my face orange. And it really bums me out because I really want to like stuff like this. I really want to use it, but the full size of this is 1.7 ounces and it's $45. So it is a more pricey item, but I would be willing to pay the price for something that actually worked for me like this, because there are days that I just want to put on like a tinted sunscreen and not do anything else. I really would like to have those kinds of days because I don't get them that often. Usually my skin is so broken out I have to put foundation on, and I would like something like this on the days when I'm not so broken out, but I think I've got like 2 or 3 more uses left in this. I'll try to finish it up on the days that I'm not going anywhere. Maybe give it a couple more tries to see if maybe it was like a balancing issue and it works for me again, but I don't have high hopes, but I will finish this up because I'm almost done with it anyway. I've used it down to here. It wasn't totally full when I got it, but I did use the majority of it, so I wish it worked better because I really want to like stuff like that because the ingredients are really good on it and I was impressed initially. So the last thing in here is the Konjac Sponge. This is from the Konjac Sponge company. It's a 100% natural vegetable fiber sponge, and I got the one that's for all skin types. This is the original one, and it's the white sponge. So I've only tried the Dr. Sponge, is the only other sponge that I've tried, and the one that I had was the charcoal one. I really like the Dr. Sponge, so I was really interested to see how this one would vary from the Dr. Sponge one. This one, there are a couple differences right away. This one is a little bit bigger when it's dry than the Dr. Sponge one is, and I feel like this one is less dense than the Dr. Sponge because this one dries a lot faster. The Dr. Sponge one doesn't dry for me overnight like I thought that they usually do. This one dries pretty much to bone dry in 24 hours. It's a little wet on the back right now because I had it facing something else. Usually I've got it hanging, but it rests against something on the back sometimes. But the front is all dry, and with the Dr. Sponge sometimes it could take 2 or 3 days for it to completely dry. So I do like that this one dries completely in pretty much 24 hours. So from use to use, I use it at night. So from use to use, it dries completely. So they say this gently exfoliates, deeply cleanses skin and the delicate eye area, refines pores, removes water-based makeup, works with or without a cleanser, leaves skin radiant and rejuvenated, suitable for sensitive skin, and coloring and additive free. So I know that they do have a couple other kinds. There's a red one, there's a green one, and I think there's a purple one or something. I'm not sure. They have a couple other formulations of their Konjac Sponge, and I was kind of hoping I would get the one for oily skin because my skin is more oily. It's not super oily, but it is more on the oily side. So I was hoping that I would get that one, but I do really like this. I haven't decided yet if I like it more than the Dr. Sponge or if I like it the same or if I like it less. I'm not really sure. I think it's really comparable to the Dr. Sponge, but I think the only thing this one might have going for it that the Dr. Sponge doesn't have is that it dries a lot faster. So far, I don't know if this formula does anything different than like the charcoal formula that I was using from Dr. Sponge. I haven't used it enough to know for sure, but I will keep you updated on how I feel about this one once I'm done with it, because that's why I had waited so long to do this, is because I hadn't gotten around to this one yet because I was still using my Dr. Sponge, and I finally tossed that one and opened this package. So the full size of this one is $12, so this one is more expensive than the Dr. Sponge, so I'll say that too. The Dr. Sponge is $8, and I usually buy ours on Amazon because my husband uses it too. and they're $8 on Amazon, and these are $12, and I think you can only buy these on the website. I'm not totally sure. So these ones are a little bit bigger, they're a little bit more expensive, but they dry a little bit faster, so I don't know if that makes them better necessarily, but I'll keep you updated as I use this more. So overall, I did really like everything that was in this box. My two favorites are probably the polish and the sponge, because I'm definitely going to get the most use out of those than everything else, especially since I already finished these, so these I won't get any more use out of, but I do really like the polish, and I do like the Konjac Sponge. I do like the Konjac Sponges more than I like the Clarisonic. I used the Clarisonic all last year, and then I switched to the Konjac Sponge this year because I really wanted to give that a try, and I do like the Konjac Sponge better than the Clarisonic. So if you've been thinking about the Clarisonic versus the Konjac Sponge, I would give the Konjac Sponge a try before you give the Clarisonic a try, especially because the Clarisonic is really expensive, plus the brush heads and upkeep and all that kind of thing. So I do like the Konjac Sponges more than the Clarisonic, not only for its cost, but also because I like the way my skin feels more when I use the sponge versus when I use the Clarisonic. I find the Clarisonic, it's really irritating and tough, and the Konjac Sponge is really gentle, but it still exfoliates at the same time. So my two favorite products were definitely the nail polish and the Konjac Sponge. What were your favorite products from the April box? Did you dislike anything that I really liked? I'd really like to know, and I will see you next month, or in a couple of weeks, whenever I post my May box, before my June box comes in the mail, hopefully. But I will see you next time for another review of the Petit Vour box. Bye.